Welcome to our journey through 10 landmark Supreme Court decisions that have fundamentally shaped American law and society. From the early 1800s to the present day, these cases have redefined the Constitution, transformed civil rights, and continue to influence every aspect of American life. In this video, we'll explore how each ruling not only addressed the issues of its time, but also set precedents that echo through generations. Get ready to discover how the Supreme Court became a powerful force in American democracy and why its decisions matter to all of us today. Story begins in 1803 with Marbury v. Madison. In this pivotal case, Chief Justice John Marshall established the Supreme Court's authority to strike down laws as unconstitutional, a power not explicitly stated in the Constitution. This ruling, known as judicial review, transformed the Supreme Court from a minor political actor into a co-equal branch of government. It set the foundation for the court's role in balancing the powers of Congress and the president, ensuring that no law could stand if it violated the Constitution. This decision permanently reshaped American democracy. 16 years later, in 1819, the Supreme Court decided McCulloch v. Maryland. This case clarified the relationship between state and federal governments. The court ruled that the federal government possesses implied powers under the Necessary and Proper Clause, allowing it to establish a national bank. More importantly, the court held that states cannot tax federal entities, cementing the supremacy of federal law over state interference. This precedent remains a cornerstone of American constitutional law, ensuring a strong and unified national government. In 1857, the Supreme Court issued one of its most infamous decisions, Dockard Scott v. Sanford. The court declared that enslaved people were property, not citizens, and therefore had no standing to sue in federal court. This devastating ruling nullified the Missouri Compromise and pushed the nation closer to civil war. Widely regarded as the court's worst decision, it highlighted the deep divisions within the country and underscored the power of the Supreme Court to influence the course of history, for better or worse. The 1896 decision in Plessy v. Ferguson ushered in the era of legalized segregation. The Supreme Court established the separate but equal doctrine, providing constitutional cover for racial segregation across the American South. This ruling enabled decades of systemic inequality, as segregation became the law of the land. For 58 years, Plessy v. Ferguson stood as the defining legal precedent, allowing discrimination to persist under the guise of equality. Its legacy would not be overturned until the mid-20th century. 1919, the Supreme Court addressed the limits of free speech in Schenck v. United States. The court introduced the clear and present danger test, ruling that speech creating a serious threat to national security is not protected under the First Amendment. This decision reflected the judicial tendencies of the early 20th century, as the court often prioritized state interests over individual expression during wartime. The balance between security and freedom of speech remains a topic of debate to this day. Turning point in American history came in 1954 with Brown v. Board of Education. The Supreme Court unanimously overturned Plessy v. Ferguson, declaring that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. This landmark decision marked the beginning of the Civil Rights Revolution, launching the Warren Court era and aggressively expanding individual and civil rights. Brown v. Board reshaped American society, inspiring generations to fight for equality and justice in all aspects of life. 1960s saw two crucial decisions protecting the rights of the accused, Mapp v. Ohio 1961 and Miranda v. Arizona 1966. In Mapp, the court applied the exclusionary rule to state courts, ensuring that evidence obtained through illegal searches and seizures could not be used in court. Miranda v. Arizona mandated that police inform suspects of their rights before interrogation, fundamentally transforming American criminal justice procedure. These rulings strengthened protections for individuals facing the power of the state. 1973, Roe v. Wade recognized a constitutional right to abortion, grounded in the right to privacy. The Supreme Court established a framework that governed reproductive law for nearly 50 years. This decision sparked intense national debate and became a central issue in American politics, shaping discussions about personal autonomy, privacy, and the role of government in private life. Roe v. Wade's legacy continues to influence legal and political battles today. Fast forward to 2015, when the Supreme Court decided Obergefell v. Hodges. The court constitutionalized the right to same-sex marriage under the Equal Protection and Due Process Clauses. This decision reflected a profound shift in civil rights jurisprudence, affirming the dignity and equality of LGBTQ+ Americans. Obergefell v. Hodges stands as a testament to the evolving understanding of liberty and equality in the United States. The Supreme Court continues to balance foundational precedents with evolving interpretations of constitutional law. From digital privacy to individual liberty, the legacy of these landmark cases shaped every aspect of modern American life. The court's decisions are not just about the past, they are living law, adapting to new challenges and guiding the nation's future. As society changes, so too does the meaning of the Constitution, interpreted by the justices who serve on the highest court. Let's take a closer look at the concept of judicial review, established by Marbury v. Madison. Judicial review gives the Supreme Court the authority to interpret the Constitution and invalidate laws that conflict with it. This power ensures that the Constitution remains the supreme law of the land and that no branch of government can exceed its limits. Judicial review is a cornerstone of American democracy, providing a vital check on legislative and executive power. Tension between federal and state power has been a recurring theme in Supreme Court history. McCulloch v. Maryland clarified that the federal government holds certain implied powers, and that federal law takes precedence over state law. This principle has been tested in countless cases, shaping the balance of power in America's federal system. The court's rulings ensure that the nation remains united, even as states retain significant authority. Supreme Court decisions have played a crucial role in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and equality. From the dark legacy of Dockard Scott and Plessy to the transformative impact of Brown and Obergefell, the court's rulings reflect and shape the nation's evolving understanding of justice. Each decision marks a step forward or backward in the quest for a more just and equal society. Exclusionary rule, established in Mapp v. Ohio, protects citizens from illegal searches and seizures. Evidence obtained in violation of the Fourth Amendment cannot be used in court. This rule is a powerful tool for safeguarding individual rights and holding law enforcement accountable. It ensures that the government respects constitutional boundaries, even in the pursuit of justice. Miranda v. Arizona gave rise to the famous Miranda rights. Police must inform suspects of their rights before interrogation, including the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. This safeguard ensures that confessions are voluntary and that suspects understand their constitutional protections. Miranda rights are now a standard part of American law enforcement. Right to privacy, though not explicitly stated in the Constitution, has been recognized by the Supreme Court in cases like Roe v. Wade. This right underpins decisions about personal autonomy, including reproductive choices and family life. The court's interpretation of privacy continues to evolve, especially as new technologies raise questions about surveillance and data protection. Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment has been central to many landmark decisions, including Brown v. Board and Obergefell v. Hodges. It guarantees that no state shall deny any person the equal protection of the laws. This clause has been used to strike down discriminatory practices and expand civil rights for all Americans. Due Process Clause, found in both the 5th and 14th Amendments, protects individuals from arbitrary government action. It ensures fair procedures and has been the basis for expanding rights related to privacy, marriage, and family. The Supreme Court's interpretation of due process has profoundly shaped American law and society. Idea of a living constitution suggests that the meaning of the Constitution evolves over time, adapting to new circumstances and societal values. The Supreme Court's interpretations reflect this dynamic, as justices consider both the original text and the needs of a changing nation. This approach ensures that constitutional principles remain relevant in modern society. The Supreme Court serves as the final arbiter of constitutional questions. Its decisions set binding precedents for all lower courts and often have far-reaching consequences for American society. The justices' interpretations of the Constitution shape the nation's laws, rights, and freedoms, making the court one of the most powerful institutions in the country. Supreme Court decisions affect nearly every aspect of daily life in America. From education and marriage to privacy and criminal justice, the court's rulings determine the rights and responsibilities of individuals and government alike. Understanding these landmark cases helps us appreciate the ongoing influence of the judiciary in shaping our society. In the digital age, the Supreme Court faces new challenges related to privacy and technology. Issues like government surveillance, data collection, and online speech require the justices to interpret constitutional rights in contexts unimaginable to the founders. The court's evolving approach to digital privacy will shape the future of American law. Supreme Court often must balance individual liberty with the needs of national security. Cases like Schenck v. United States demonstrate the difficulty of protecting free speech while ensuring public safety. This tension is a recurring theme in American constitutional law, requiring careful judgment and adaptation to changing circumstances. Supreme Court precedents are powerful, but they are not unchangeable. The court sometimes overturns its own past decisions, as in Brown v. Board of Education's reversal of Plessy v. Ferguson. This ability to adapt ensures that the law can respond to new understandings of justice and equality, even as it provides stability and predictability. Let's review the timeline of these 10 landmark cases. Brewer v. Madison, 1803, McCulloch v. Maryland, 1819, Dr. Scott v. Sanford, 1857, Plessy v. Ferguson, 1896, Schenck v. United States, 1919, Brown v. Board of Education, 1954, Mapp v. Ohio, 1961, Miranda v. Arizona, 1966, Roe v. Wade, 1973, and Obergefell v. Hodges, 2015. Each case marks a turning point in American legal history. The Supreme Court is composed of 9 justices, each appointed for life. Their backgrounds, philosophies, and interpretations of the Constitution shape the court's decisions. Over time, the composition of the court changes, reflecting shifts in American society and politics. The justices' deliberations and opinions are central to the development of constitutional law. The U.S. Constitution is a living document, interpreted and applied by the Supreme Court over more than 2 centuries. Each landmark decision redefines the rights and freedoms of millions, ensuring that the Constitution remains relevant as society evolves. The enduring impact of these rulings is felt in every corner of American life. As we look to the future, the Supreme Court will continue to confront new legal challenges and societal changes. Issues like digital privacy, artificial intelligence, and evolving notions of liberty will require fresh interpretations of constitutional principles. The court's ongoing work ensures that American law remains dynamic and responsive to the needs of the people. Conclusion: the Supreme Court's landmark judgments have shaped the course of American history, law, and society. Each decision reflects the ongoing dialogue between the Constitution and the people it serves. As new cases arise, the court's interpretations will continue to define the meaning of justice, liberty, and equality for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the enduring legacy of the Supreme Court.